Welcome back to Codecraft. This is Percentages Part 2, the exam application types, the word problems that actually show up in your paper. In Part 1, we built the intuition and the fast methods. Now we turn them into weapons for 7 classic problem families: price and consumption, area and dimension change, the fraction family, pass and fail marks, stacked discounts, points versus percent, and elections. Every single one solved in your head. If this helps you, hit subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let's go. Let's make this effortless with a picture. Picture your spending as a grid of money squares. The price is the height. The amount you buy is the width. So the area is what you spend. Buy 5 items at 4 rupees each. 20 squares. 20 rupees. Now the price rises to 5. Every column gains a square. Keep buying 5 and it's 25 squares. 5 rupees too much. To get back to 20, drop a whole column. Buy 4, not 5. Now, the subtle part. The price went up by 1 on a base of 4. That's 25%. But you cut 1 from 5. That's only 20%. Same 20 rupees, yet the 2% differ because they sit on different sides. And now, watch where the formula hides. You still have 20 squares, but each column is taller now. 5 tall, not 4. Taller columns, fewer needed. 20 squares poured into columns of 5 is just 4 columns. You divided by 5, the new price. That is the whole secret. The drop is always measured against the new, taller price. So the amount you cut is simply the rise over the new price. 25 over 125. That, and only that, is what x over 100 plus x means. Here's one hiding in every geometry question. Picture a photo. Its area is length times width. Now enlarge it. Make it 20% longer and 10% wider. What happens to the area? Watch. Stretching the length adds a strip down the right side. Stretching the width adds a strip along the top. But look closely at the corner. There is a little square there that belongs to both stretches at once. That corner is the piece almost everyone forgets. So the area does not grow by just 20 plus 10. It grows by 20 plus 10 plus that corner. And the corner is 20% of 10%, just 2. 32% bigger. Now, the rule this reveals. Grow the two sides by x% and y%, and the area grows by x plus y plus x times y over 100. And that last term, x times y over 100, is exactly the corner square. You have met this formula before. It is the very same one as the up then down trap. The fast way, of course, is just to multiply the factors. 1.2 times 1.1 is 1.32. And a circle, its area is pi times r squared. But that pi is just a fixed number. It multiplies the old circle and the new one by the very same amount. So when we ask how much bigger, the pi cancels out. What is left is r squared, and that is a square. Grow the radius 20%, and both sides of that square grow 20%. 1.2 times 1.2 is 1.44, 44% more. The sides multiply, and that little corner square is the whole story. Here's the shortcut fast solvers live by. The percentages you meet over and over are just simple fractions in disguise. And once you see the fraction, you do it in your head. Start with the whole. 100%, cut it in half. 50%, 1/2. Have that? 25, a quarter. Have again. 12.5, an eighth. Every cut just halves the percent. Now cut the whole into 5, 20%, 1/5. And into 3, 33.3, 1/3. Have that, and 1/6 is 16.6. Keep this little family in your head. A half is 50, a quarter 25, an eighth 12.5, a fifth 20, a third 33, a sixth 16.6. Now watch an ugly one melt. 37.5%, well, 12.5 is 1/8, and 37.5 is just 3 of those chunks, so it is 3/8. Now the question is easy. 1/8 of 240 is 30, times 3 is 90. No pen, no long division. You counted the eighths and multiplied. Here's a favorite exam trap. A student needs 40% to pass. She scores 30% and falls short by 20 marks. What was the maximum mark? Picture the whole test as one tall bar. That is the max, 100%. The pass line sits at 40%. Her score fills up to 30. Now look at the gap between her score and the pass line. That gap is exactly what she fell short by 20 marks. And that gap is 40 minus 30, just 10% of the whole bar. So 10% of the max is 20 marks. And the whole 100% is 10 times that 200. The max is 200 marks. No equations at all. The marks you fall short by are just a slice of the whole. And that slice is the gap to the pass line. So the rule is simple. The shortfall divided by the gap percentage equals the max. Picture the very same shirt on sale at two shops. Shop A says 40% off plus an extra 20% off. Shop B just says 55% off. Your gut screams Shop A. 40 and 20 is 60%, way more than 55, right? Let's check. On a 1,000 rupee shirt at Shop A, 40% off takes away 400 down to 600. Now the extra 20%, but 20% of 600, not of 1,000. That is only 120 off. You land at 480. So you saved 520. That is just 52% off, not 60. The second discount hit a smaller price, so it cut less. And Shop B's flat 55%, it quietly wins. The deal that sounded bigger is the worst one. So, stacked discounts never simply add them, then subtract their product over 100. 40 plus 20 minus 8 is 52. Two words that trip up thousands in the exam hall: points and percent. A bank raises its interest rate from 5% to 7%. By how much did it rise? Careful, there are two right answers for two different questions. Look at the rate as a level. It climbs from 5 up to 7. The raw jump is simply 7 minus 5, that is 2. We call that 2 percentage points. Just subtraction. But now ask a different question. How big is that jump compared to where it started? 2, sitting on top of the original 5, is 2 over 5, which is 40%. So the rate rose by 40%, even though it moved only 2 points. Same change. Two very different sizes. A point is the raw gap. A percent is that same gap measured against the starting value. So when a question says points, just subtract. When it says percent change, divide the gap by where you began. Election problems look scary, but they are just a bar, split in two. Two candidates. The winner takes 60% of the votes, the loser 40, and the winner wins by 720 votes. How many people voted in total? Here is the whole idea. The winner is ahead by the difference between the two shares. 60 minus 40 is 20% of all the votes, and that 20% is exactly the 720 vote margin. So 20% is 720, 1% is 36, and the full 100% is 3,600. So 3,600 people voted. And what if some votes are invalid? Then only the valid ones get split. Say 20% are spoiled, so only 80% count. The 60-40 split is of that valid 80. Do the margin on the valid slice, then scale back up. The picture never changes. A race is a bar, and the winning margin is simply the gap between the two shares. Alright, your turn now. Level 1 easy. What is 62.5% of 320? Remember the family. 62.5% is just 5/8. Pause and try it. Okay, 1/8 of 320 is 40, times 5 is 200. 200, no pen needed. Level 2, medium. A tax rate drops from 8% to 6%. By what percent did it fall? Careful, is it points or percent? Pause. The raw drop is 2 points, but as a percent of the original 8, that is 2 over 8, which is 25%, it fell 25%. Now, boss level. A shop takes 25% off, then another 20% off. What is the total discount? Pause and think. Add them and subtract the product over 100. 25 plus 20 is 45, minus 5 is 40% off, not 45. The second cut hit a smaller price. Boss round, bring it all together. First, pass or fail. A student needs 33% to pass, scores 25, and falls short by 40 marks. Find the maximum marks. Pause. The gap from her score to the pass line is 33 minus 25, 8%, and that 8% is the 40 marks. So 1% is 5, and the whole is 500. Max marks, 500. Next area, a rectangle's length grows 20% and its breadth shrinks 10%. What happens to the area? Pause. Add the two changes and the product over 100. 20 minus 10 is 10, minus 2 is plus 8%. The area grows 8%. Finally, the election. The winner takes 55% and wins by 900 votes. How many voted in total? Pause. The margin is 55 minus 45, 10%, and that is the 900 votes. So 1% is 90, and the total is 9,000. 9,000 voters. You just cleared the boss round. And that is the complete percentages toolkit. 7 exam families, every one crackable without a pen. If a shop stacks 2 discounts, if a rate moves by points, if an election is won by a margin, you now see the fraction, the gap, and the base that keeps moving. Practice these until they feel obvious. Give this a like, subscribe for the next topic, ratios, the secret twin of percentages, and I will see you there.